see's my own silhouette. I'm getting stronger, step by step. The clock is ticking, but there's no time for regrets. I've been flying from town to town, from London to Taiwan. I've been all around the globe, trying to protect your soul. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight. Yeah. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight. Feel like a dynamite, ready to explode right up in the sky. I need you to listen, I need you to hear, and don't show any fear. I've been flying from town to town, from London to Taiwan. I've been all around the globe, trying to protect your soul. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight. Yeah. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight. Town to town, from London to Taiwan. I've been all around the globe, trying to protect your soul. I'm walking alone, the streets are empty. The only thing I can see is my own silhouette. I'm getting stronger, step by step. The clock is ticking, but there's no time for regrets. I've been flying from town to town, from London to Taiwan. I've been
Welcome aboard, everybody. It is Derby Day on Wearside. Sunderland against Newcastle. The big old derby is back, folks. In our hands. I am a little bit delayed. I apologise for the lighting. I will sort that out in just a moment's time. But, folks, welcome aboard to Super Sunday. Sunderland against Newcastle to start you off. The Big Un.
Time for cities and towns to start dreaming again. Walking in the footsteps of giants. I do not believe my eyes. This is extraordinary. Greatness awaits.
Good afternoon and welcome back aboard to Realltom Football. Then my name is Tom. I'll bring you the watch along this afternoon, everybody, for Sunderland who take on Newcastle live in the Premier League. If you do are watching on the replay, please do make sure that you are leaving a like on stream, hit that subscribe, and if you are new, thank you very much indeed, folks. Everybody who's joined us here today. Your kickoff is coming your way at 2 o'clock in the Premier League. A humongous derby back in the Premier League. Sunderland against Newcastle with its long-awaited return. And Mr. B. Harry is first to join us on this derby day of uniqueness. On this derby day of uniqueness, the return of one of the great derbies in English football. I apologise that I was slightly delayed. If I have missed anything out, do let me know. We have got bets alive and in play, of course, as a standard. Bet builder on the Brentford game later. Price boost for Sunderland, Villa and City all to win is £7. I don't want City to win, of course. Villa to win over 3.5 goals. Morgan Rogers to score for later. Well, for the same game, no, for now, 2 o'clock. And bet builder on this game, £2.50 on it. ACCA Insurance is for Sunderland Villa, Napoli Celtic, and Brentford all to win, 48.55 off a £1 stake. So big occasion on Wearside as Tyneside enters their territory. These two have always been big rivals. The reason, to be exact, is unknown to a neutral, but one thing is for sure, is that this should be a magnificent derby. And of course, if you do want a taste of some action a little bit later at 4:30, Brentford against Leeds is what we'll finish off on. And tomorrow, it is a big game as well, where Manchester United take on Bournemouth. So, plenty of action across today. It is 4 games at 2 o'clock on this Super Sunday. And we will be keeping a close eye on Crystal Palace against Manchester City and Aston Villa against West Ham at the London Stadium. On top of that, our eyes will also be fixated to Forest against Spurs. But it is all eyes on the derby, and I would expect most people to be feeling the same way. Kick-off, 2 o'clock, massive derby on Tyneside at Wearside as Tyneside enters the wrong territory in the Premier League. It is time, folks, to have a look at your team news and your match information. So if we go to premierleague.com/, whatever it is, for all your team news and your match information. Also a check on the league tables ahead of this humongous derby. It was a truthfully awful performance by us yesterday against Wolves. Disgusting, really. We were lucky to get the 3 points, but we did. And in and amongst that, home victories came for Chelsea and Liverpool, getting clean sheets as they were 2-0 winners over Everton and Brighton. In a thriller at 5:30, Fulham won 3-2 away to Burnley. That's their first ever Turf Moor win since 1951. Oh dear. Everton will be the final Arsenal watch-along of Realltom Football on 2025. So next week's game at Hill Dickinson will be the final Arsenal watch-along of the 2025 year. That will be the last one. Right then. So yeah, massive Super Sunday. And we'll take a look at the impacts. But firstly, Crystal Palace and Manchester City. Manchester City, of course, can move themselves to within 2 points of us. If they beat Crystal Palace. Hopefully they don't. And just a point, and then we'll move on to 2 points. The gap will be 4 points between City and Arsenal. For Palace, they can move on to 29 points if they get all 3 points today, moving themselves onto into the top 4. 1 point clear of Chelsea, 1 point behind Villa, depending on their result against West Ham. A point for them will do nothing for them other than move them a point clear of Liverpool, who played yesterday. Moving on, we have got Aston Villa as they take on West Ham, who can move on to 33 points if they beat West Ham today. Otherwise, if City lose, they'll go level on points. With City goal difference, will keep them behind City and in third. Their opponents, West Ham United, with 3 points and 3 points only, can move out the relegation zone until Leeds play against Brentford later. Nottingham Forest also are up against Spurs. So, of course, if Forest can win, they'll move on to 18 points and clear themselves away from the Hammers. And Tottenham can move on to 23 points with a draw. Level on points with Brighton and Sunderland, dependent on the results of Sunderland here. And goal difference would see them move into either 9th or 10th. The 3 points for Spurs would move them on to 25 points. Level on points with Manchester United, who don't play till tomorrow. Goal difference would see Spurs go above United into 7th. Last but not least, Newcastle are behind Sunderland in the league table. It is only 1 point that separates them now, though. And if Sunderland can get a draw here today, they will move on to 24 points, level on points with Everton. Goal difference for Sunderland will see them go above Everton. And they will be 1 point behind Manchester United, dependent on their results tomorrow against Bournemouth. 3 points for the Black Cats. We'll move them on to 26 points, level on points with Palace and Liverpool. The likelihood will be that they go above Liverpool on goal difference or level on goal difference with Liverpool with a win. So they could find themselves within the top 5 or 6 with the 3 points here, Sunderland. And then their opponents on Newcastle, who can move on to 25 points if they get all 3 points. That would be level of points, potentially with United, and they can move as high as 7th with all 3 points against their bitter Northeast rivals. Just a quick check on the channels for you. Sky Sports main event for this one. Sky Sports Premier League for Palace against City. Forest against Spurs on Sky Football. Sky Sports Tennis for West Ham against Villa. And Multiview on Sky Sports Plus. So all games on this 2 o'clock period live on Sky Sports. If you do want to watch this Tyne and Weir derby, just go to Sky Sports main event. Because this is for sure the main event of this Sunday. And we've had a look at the league table. Let's go into our team news. Remember, folks, we will have goal flashes going out throughout the afternoon. With all the other games, of course, taking place at 2 o'clock. Robin Roofs in goal for Sunderland, a back 4 for them today of Daniel Ballard, Mangava, Alderete and Mukiele. Behind the midfield, which is split into 2 parts, seeing a defensive 2 of Siddiqui and Granit Xhaka. Behind the attacking 3 of Talbi, Enzo Lafay and Traore. Lone striker is Brian Brobby. On the bench for Sunderland is Anthony Patterson, who normally, Daniel Lucherol Geertruida Chris Rigg, Eliza Mayenda, Romain Mundell, Wilson Isidore, Simon Adingra, and Trey Hume. Newcastle begin with Aaron Ramsdale in goal. There is no Nick Pope, and I don't know when he'll be back either. Ramsdale in goal, a back four of Tino Livramento, Thiaw, Dan Burn, and Lewis Hall behind the midfield three of Lewis Miley, Sandro Tonali, and Bruno Guimaraes. Neither of the two starting centre-backs share or Botman. Front three is Anthony Elanga, Nick Voltamada, and Anthony Gordon. Where's Harvey Barnes? On the bench, there he is. Harvey Barnes, Fabian Schär, Joel Linton, Johan Visser, Jacob Murphy, John Ruddy, Joe Willock, Alex Murphy, and Jacob Ramsey. Well, folks, it doesn't look like Sunderland are going to go anywhere after this Premier League season. Could the Tyne and Weird derby be back for a very long time? I think it was, or a prolonged exile from the Premier League for Sunderland craved us and starved us of this tremendous derby, but it is back. And by the way that Sunderland have played this season, the message is almost clear. This derby is not going anywhere ever again. I've experienced it before. There was an FA Cup game between these two about a season or two ago when Newcastle got a rare win at the Stadium of Light to qualify to, I believe, the 4th or 5th round of the Emirates FA Cup. Well, Reggie Labrie was most certainly a man who was doubted that he could continue Sunderland's progression and stabilise them on the return to the Premier League. But the doubters have clearly been proved wrong, as he has got this team flying, of course. And the most recent positive result was earning a draw at Anfield, and so nearly taking Liverpool to defeat. Huge occasion. And if you do have Sky Sports, tune in to Main Event. You don't want to miss this derby, which for sure will be emotional and special. Don't forget, folks, as well, the action does not stop here. This is a 2:00 kickoff in the Premier League for this derby. And the 4:30 kickoff, we'll see Brentford against Leeds United later at 4:15. And of course, the headline game of the weekend is Manchester United against AFC Bournemouth, which is a fixture that Bournemouth have won the last 2 times at Old Trafford by a score of 3-0 in a row. So can Bournemouth get another 3-0 victory at Old Trafford for the 3rd time consecutively? Or will United continue winning ways and get whatever his name is one step closer to that haircut? Of course I was. So Derby Day, not in North London, not in Manchester, not on Merseyside, not between Liverpool or United, but on Wearside. Wearside against Tyneside is the derby of today. And a man who was born in 1957, died this year, Gary Rowell, is being tributed by the Stadium of Light ahead of kickoff this Sunday afternoon. It is the 14th of December. We are just 11 days out from Christmas. So what a perfect Christmas present it would be for either one of these two sides to win this Tyne Weir derby. respect, in applause for Gary Rowell from the Stadium of Light and its supporters, its faithful, and its players, managers, and footballing staff members, including today's referee, who today is Chris Kavanagh, I think. And, Chris Kavanagh is now the Premier League's #1 referee. He is considered the main referee for the Premier League, so most certainly his name may be required in such a tense and emotional fixture. I don't like him, but so Chris Kavanagh in charge, huge occasion, tense atmosphere. You do need a big referee for a big game like this. In fact, it's not Chris Kavanagh, is it? It's Peter Banks, that. That ain't Kavanagh. That's Peter Banks. Ignore me. No, Kavanagh's on VAR, that's it. There you go. I read it wrong. Kavanagh on VAR, Banks on... Well, I have to say that Peter Banks has got a huge task on his hand today, because this will definitely spill over. So, early delivery. Didn't quite. So, yeah, there you go. Just the refereeing confirmation for you again. It is Peter Banks, the man in the middle, Chris Kavanagh on VAR. Not Chris Kavanagh as the main official. But like I say, it almost seems like that he is now the Premier League's #1 referee, considering the amount of big games he gets and how much he annoys Arsenal. Ballon. And Olafay. Well, it should be an interesting game, Marty. Do I rate Ramsdale? No. It's massive for the Premier League. Massive for the Premier League, this, to have this derby back. It is massive for this league. Tino Livramento. It's going to be a Sunderland corner. And there's most certainly and aggression about them. Talby. Do I rate that Newcastle team? Which one? Right now? No. No, I don't. Trial rate for Sunderland. Huge chance. Mukiele. Yeah. Oh, it's true. It's true. No, it's true. Back in the day, quality used to be amazing. No, don't be. It's all right, man. I don't mind the opinions, mate. It's important that we have opinions, really. Yeah. Oh, I know what you mean. Yeah. What you mean? Ilanga. Chance for Voltamada. I agree. Poor move from out of his quality. Goal. It's been a goal. There has been a goal in the Premier League. There's been a goal, and it's for West Ham against Aston Villa. Mateus Fernandes with the opener there. The Hammers in front nice and early. However, it's 1-1 now. It's 1-1. Right, hang on a minute. I'll get back to that in a minute. So 1-1, we're waiting for the equaliser confirmation of that one against Aston Villa for West Ham. Ollie Watkins has scored the equaliser. It's 1-1 in that game. So 2 goals in quick succession in that one. False 9 kind of thing, yeah. Robbie nearly scored then. Big chance. It's such a big derby, this. Such a big derby. No. Not at the minute. Well, maybe the restrictions have killed it a little bit, perhaps. There's been a lot of police restrictions. Oh. Yeah. It is. That is going to be... You're right. That is going to be... for West Ham and Palace. For West Ham and Palace, that is going to be tremendous if they come up. But I'm looking at more kind of Borough, Coventry. Absolutely. Maybe it's because they haven't played a derby in so long. I can't really speak an awful lot about this derby because it's not something that I'm familiar with. But it's been a very mild kind of almost we're scared of each other. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, no. But back on that comment from Martin about Millwall coming up. I mean, if they do come up, for West Ham and Crystal Palace, it is going to be a case of whoa. Enzo Lafayette throw into Sunderland. Well, we're still on the glass bottles of Coke at the minute. Hence why I've got the good old bottle opener. Maybe I can just bottle open this game. Yeah, it's cute. This is actually a Christmas cracker bottle opener from 1 year ago. Very useful. We were terrible. We were terrible. But I mean, look, I can't sit here and pretend the performance was good because it wasn't. Yesterday was nothing to be proud of. We were goddamn awful. Shape up. 7 days off. Shape up. Shape up. You know, no Champions League game this week. Take advantage of that. And absolutely shape up. Because the performance yesterday was diabolical. Well, I mean, Wolves were robbed. I mean, look, I'm happy we've got the 3 points. I'm relieved we've got the 3 points. But Wolves deserved a result yesterday. Says a lot. Sunderland dominating the ball. Talby. And then Langer got in the way. Free kick is given. Guimaraes found himself on the ground. If you haven't already chatted, do make sure you are smashing a like on the stream. Hit that subscribe button if you are new. We're looking to get to 1.21k subscribers, otherwise 1,210. Share the channel around with your friends, and also let us know who you think is going to win via the poll if you're on YouTube. And currently that poll sits with a 45% backing of Sunderland, 36% for Newcastle, 18% say draw. I mean, I'm definitely wanting a manager gone now. That performance that was displayed yesterday by us cannot happen again. Well, referee, stop the game. I think the earlier kickoff kills the game a bit, if you ask me. Do feel like this game would have been better under the lights. Half 4. There's not been that much to say, really. First 24 minutes. It is. I'm not getting Derby vibes off it at the minute. The 2 o'clock kickoff is really killing it. Phrase. I do think this should have been under the lights. Half 4, not 2 o'clock. And, well, no shortage of goals. London Stadium. West Ham back in front. They lead 2-1 against Aston Villa, as Fraser has rightly indicated. And Jared Bowen with the latest goal in that one. So West Ham 2-1 ahead. and no other goals in the Premier League. Real Madrid do play later tonight. They are up against Alaves. La Liga-wise, Sevilla currently leading Real Oviedo 3-0. Celta Vigo against Athletic Club at 3:15. And Villarreal's game away to Levante has been postponed as well. By the way, that Ollie Watkins goal for Aston Villa, which was their equaliser, has now been ruled an own goal by Konstantinos Mavropanos, not an Ollie Watkins goal. Postponement again. Falkirk against Celtic has been postponed in the Scottish Premiership. But Aberdeen against Kilmarnock still going ahead. 3 o'clock kickoff. WSL, Brighton beaten 3-0 by Chelsea earlier. Goal scorers, Alyssa Thompson, Caitlin Hayes, own goal by Brighton, and Sandy Baltimore for Chelsea, who win 3-0 comfortably in the Women's Super League. And of course, they are not top. They are 6 points behind Manchester City. Wow. Chelsea will still win it. Leicester beating London City Lionesses by a goal to nil. Shannon O'Brien on the score sheet for Leicester. Man City women beating Villa women 6-1. Lucy Parker, the Villa scorer. Khadija Shaw got 4 for Manchester City. Vivian Medema and Alba Fugino, the other goal scorers, and 2-2 between West Ham and Liverpool as well. 2:30, so in around 2 minutes, kick-off Man United Spurs in the WSL. Nottingham Forest lead Tottenham. Callum Hudson-Odoi with a goal for Forest, and the Tricky Trees with a great start. So tricky life for Spurs as the Tricky Trees take a 1-0 lead against Tottenham. And it is Callum Hudson-Odoi who scored the goal. No, I'm not pleased for the fact that West Ham are winning. I want West Ham relegated, so you can imagine that I'm frustrated that they're winning again. Oh, what a shot. Granit Xhaka. Always has a place in my heart, Granit Xhaka. Ashik says it's a lucky goal. Well, sometimes you need luck in football. Oh, what's this? Free food? Yes, please. Oh, I'll take that. Yeah. Free food and 12 quid payment. Lovely jubbly. Tomorrow, an M&S free food. I'll take that all day. Enter the fame. not the best derby day so far. But if you do want some excitement, then the weekend's headline game comes on Monday Night Football tomorrow. Remember that Manchester United are against AFC Bournemouth, and it is a fixture where Bournemouth have won the last 2 games at Old Trafford against Manchester United by a 3-0 scoreline. Could it be 3 straight 3-0 wins at Old Trafford for Bournemouth tomorrow? I'm just kidding, by the way. This was supposed to be the headline game, but, well, I don't see many headlines. What I do see is an opportunity to add a visual effect to a derby that needs the alternate to what I'm about to do. This is a capped glass bottle of Coke. You can't open it without a bottle opener. Maybe this release of gas is for sure what this derby needs. Come on. Come on. Oh, there we go. That'll be the last time you see me do. Cheers, guys. That was impossible to open, by the way. That was not coming off, that wasn't. I had to really go, at that. Good for the environment, though. Metal and glass. Metal and glass. Yeah, good for the environment. Bloody hell. You can hear the glass. You can hear the glass clinking. Oh, man. Come on. We want goals. This is not delivering. Goal! Crystal Palace. John Philip Mateta with the opener for Palace. I'm just joking. No, I wanted to. I will. Oh. Why is this derby not delivering? I mean, bruv. Well, there's a problem for Lewis Hall for Newcastle in a derby which hasn't really lived up to its name of a derby day. I am disappointed. I must say that for a derby day, this has to be better quality. Well, the problem is actually for Dan Burn, not Lewis Hall. It'd be a huge blow for Newcastle to lose their boy from Blythe. A player with 9 fingers but 9 lives in terms of his quality of a fullback. Or his 9 lives up here. This is a derby that needs some fire. Well, Dan Burn is back on the pitch, which is good to see. We are still waiting for a derby day goal and, nudging the back of Guimaraes. Silly giveaway of a free kick by Sunderland. Bruno G still over the free kick for Newcastle on derby day. Will there be a derby day opener here? The rate we're going, Brentford Leeds will be a more entertaining game, and there will be goals. Mark my words, Brentford Leeds will have goals. There's no way that a game that involves Leeds United does not have goals. Unless you're up against Newcastle. Now, that should be a good game later. Goal, Man City. Goal, Man City. Oh, Palace. Oh, Palace. What? Erling Haaland with the goal. City ahead. And this derby's not delivering. Palace 0, Palace 0, City 1. Yeah, I mean, I was looking at the attack momentum, and Crystal Palace have not done much in the game, to be fair. They've not done much, Palace. at all. It's been a poor first start from them, is my judgment of it. But entertainment levels at a high. Sevilla are 13 minutes away from a 3-0 victory or more over Real Oviedo in La Liga. Comfortable victory for Sevilla, and currently in the can't speak, in the La Liga. It is Barcelona top, 6 points clear of Real Madrid. Villarreal 1 point behind Real Madrid. Atletico Madrid on 34, Espanyol on 30, and then Betis well behind on 24, but in the top 6. This win moves Sevilla up to 20 points in La Liga. In the La Liga, and it's a huge one for them. And Dan Burns going off. Tried, couldn't do it. Games got underway in the German Bundesliga. Freiburg 0, Borussia Dortmund 0, 15 minutes into that one. And Lyon are currently playing Le Havre, and that one is 0-0. "43rd minute, Sunderland 0, Newcastle 0. It really has not been. I just think that you remove that kind of that spark of a derby when you put a game on at 2:00, which is a derby. I mean, 12:30 Saturday, I understand why for a derby, but derbies do not belong at 2:00 on a Sunday. I think if this game was a bit later, under the lights, because it's that mindset, isn't it, I suppose, really? Derby day. You know what I mean? Quite often, Derby day is supposed to be under the lights. You know what I mean? Derby day shouldn't be daylight. It should be night and dark. Ball over the top. Be a throw-in. Came off the fresh Lewis Hall. Not Lewis Hall, sorry. Lewis Miley, rather. So be careful, though. There's been a goal in Serie A. Verona leading against Fiorentina going into half-time. Serie A. Napoli currently goalless in their game away to Udinese. We will give you a full score update at a half-time. Granit Xhaka. Oh, Joe, what a ball. What a ball, Xhaka. What a ball. It's Patterson, I think, who's going for it. No, it can't be Patterson, can it? I mean, it looked like... who's that? Don't know. But what a ball by Granit Xhaka. Ballard, sorry. Was going for it. Three minutes of added time. Where's that come from? only make use of one scoreboard, I think, with the added time. I don't think we're going to get a goal in the first half. Quite frankly, I think that if I'm a manager, either Eddie Howe or Enzo Lefebvre, both of them, they should be shouting at their teams, saying, "Come on, lads, show some passion. You know, this is Derby Day. What's this?" It's known as one of the biggest derbies in England, but there's no Derby Day feeling about it. I would be screaming at my players, just simply reminding them it's Derby Day. Because I can tell you right now, there would be no Arsenal Spurs game that would end up like this. I mean, you tell me the last time that there was an Arsenal Spurs game, all bar the 1-0 victory away last season, that didn't have passion, potential red cards, fight-ups, and first-half goals. I mean, I understand to the fact that this derby's been absent for a long time, but I think when you look at it in terms of quality of the actual football match, in England's derbies, Arsenal Spurs, you probably get the best viewing quality, if you know what I mean. You know what I mean? Manchester derbies sometimes go this way. But this has just been far from a derby. It's really lacked some blood. It's really lacked blood, this has. Half-time scores: Forest 1, Spurs 0, Palace 0, City 1, West Ham 2, Villa 1. And still awaiting the half-time whistle here. We're about to get it. He's blown for half-time. Peter Banks. It was a poor first half. I'm not getting that Derby Day feeling at the minute from this. It's definitely a derby that's been abandoned for a long time. And I think that might be the issue here as well. Because when you're rivals and you don't play each other for a long time, that sort of I hate you, that kind, you know what I mean? When you are distant from somebody you hate for a long time, that hatred kind of fades. And I think that's what we're seeing here. But it's still not good enough. And this is why it's crucial for Sunderland to stay up. If you're going to keep this derby alive, Sunderland need to stay up for as long as they can. Because, quite frankly, the more and more that this derby gets missed out and distanced, the more like this it's going to get. They're close by to each other, but at times this decade and last decade they've been 2 leagues apart. So it's vital that both of these two teams now stay in the Premier League, which I expect them both to do, and make this derby more watchable. You know what I mean? This derby has to be back to its best. Because if you're asking me, that yeah, there might be a bit of bias about it, but from a viewing point of view, my favourite derby to watch is the North London derby. I don't think the Manchester derby's got the same as what it used to be. I think the other derbies in England aren't that good. This has got to improve second half. The I hate you factor has got to come in. The blood has got to come in. The passion has got to come in. You know what I mean? Because I know for a fact that Derby Day should be blood, tears, sweat, fight-ups, punch-ups. And this just isn't it. Even so, though, at Goodison, it was amazing last year. You're right. The Merseyside derby is up there as well. I do like the Merseyside derby, but derbies are dying in the UK. And this one, it's been dead for what, 8 years-ish? And it just needs to come back to life. But if you're going to have these two in one league together for one season only, quite frankly, that Derby Day factor, that I hate you factor, that full viewing quality, is not going to come back. Because like I said, if you stay distanced from somebody or something that you hate for a long period of time, then when you go to see that thing or person and fight against them or play against them or whatever, that I hate you factor won't be as strong as if you saw them the other day. Do you know what I mean? A huge set of 2 games then, folks, to end this Premier League weekend. Looking more towards the promos for you. Brentford against Leeds United is where we finish at 4:15 tonight. And you can join us for that 4:15. Kickoff is at 4:30. Brentford against Leeds United. And tomorrow, Manchester United take on AFC Bournemouth. And remember, the last 2 games at Old Trafford between those 2 teams have been 3-0 victories for Bournemouth. And Bournemouth will surely look to make it 3 straight 3-0 victories at Old Trafford. Carabao Cup returns for the quarterfinals next week on Tuesday and Wednesday. We will be bringing you Cardiff against Chelsea on Tuesday night. 8:15 for Newcastle against Fulham. And then, of course, I will be at the Emirates for Arsenal against Crystal Palace on Tuesday, the 23rd of December. Just a reminder of what those teams had to do to get to this stage of the competition. Brentford knocked out Grimsby with a thumping 5-0 victory to get their place in the quarterfinals. Wycombe Wanderers held Fulham to a 1-1 draw, but Fulham won it on penalties to earn their place in the quarterfinals. Cardiff beat Wrexham in a Welsh derby to earn their place. Arsenal beat Brighton 2-0. Crystal Palace won 3-0 at Anfield to earn their place. Manchester City went to Swansea to earn their place. Chelsea won a thriller 4-3 at Molineux with 10 men to earn their place. And Newcastle came up against Spurs to earn their place in the Carabao Cup quarterfinals. I mean, the pundits are trying to depict this now. I don't see the quality of this derby at the minute. Okay, let's continue on with the promos. Where's the match.com, shall we, for Thursday? Because I do want to make sure that I've got you guys all up to date on what your action is going to look like on Realltom Football. Conference League only on Thursday. I don't think we'll be going anywhere near that. But Crystal Palace are in action on Thursday night as they are up against KUPS. And that is the reason why Arsenal's Carabao Cup quarter-final has been moved to Tuesday, 23rd of December. Friday night football. If Middlesbrough are in action, we'll do it. Otherwise, no, sir. And who is it? It is Swansea against Wrexham. No. The last Welsh derby I watched was truthfully awful. Sorry, but no. Okay, let's move back towards the Premier League. One more game week before Christmas, and it is going to be a roller coaster Saturday of action. And unfortunately for you people, we will have to miss out Spurs against Liverpool. The plan for me is going to be to start you off on Saturday lunchtime with Newcastle against Chelsea, followed by the 3 o'clock focus. I will take my break and have my dinner in between. During the Spurs-Liverpool game. And we will return for the final Arsenal watch-along of the calendar year when we go to Hill Dickinson Stadium for the first time on Saturday. 8 o'clock kickoff. Super Sunday includes Villa against Manchester United. And Fulham against Nottingham Forest is the Monday night game. When we come back after Christmas, it is Boxing Day. Manchester United against Newcastle. Saturday the 27th. I will not be here. I will be in attendance for Arsenal against Brighton. The games that are on telly are Forest against City at 12:30. 5:30 Chelsea against Villa. 3 o'clock kickoffs outside of Arsenal. Brighton include Brentford against Bournemouth, Burnley against Everton, Liverpool against Wolves, and West Ham against Fulham. Back for Super Sunday on the 28th when Sunderland take on Leeds, and Palace against Spurs at 4:30. Match week 19, I will be on my annual New Year's mystery tour. The fixtures that I'll be missing out would have been Arsenal against Villa, and Palace against Fulham, or Liverpool Leeds, and Sunderland Man City or Brentford Spurs. After my New Year's mystery tour, we return on Saturday the 3rd of January, and we start you off with a Midlands derby on Sky, Villa against Forest. There'll be no 3 o'clock focus. Bournemouth against Arsenal at 5:30. And then Super Sunday, it is in a Saturday format, but all games on television. Leeds against Manchester United at 12:30 on TNT Sports. 3 o'clock kickoffs, all live on Sky Sports. Include Everton against Brentford, Fulham Liverpool, Newcastle Palace, and Spurs Sunderland. 5:30 for City Chelsea on Sunday, the 4th of January. Unfortunately, Mark, I can't do that due to copyright. Sadly. But if you want to watch the match, you can watch live on Sky Sports main event in the UK and Sky Sports main event only, or you can access multi-view via Sky Sports Plus. If you want to watch Palace against Manchester City, that's on Sky Premier League. West Ham against Villa on Sky Sports. I don't know. It's automatic copyright. It's automatic copyright. Trust me, it's automatic. Well, I am also a YouTuber. The same video feed that you're receiving goes to YouTube as well. Yeah, the same feed that you guys get goes to YouTube. We are predominantly a YouTube channel. We do also stream to Twitch. And YouTube are a lot more stricter on copyright than Twitch. Well, some great goals. Look at these goals at the London Stadium. No, Twitch. That's a bad goal to concede by Villa. The second one by Bowen. Massive deflection. That won't work, mate. That won't work. Trust me, that won't work. Believe me. If I were you, I'd find a different stream. If you want to watch the match live, find a different stream, because anybody who is streaming to Twitch with themselves being a YouTuber as well won't show the match. YouTubers can't show the match. So, and more often than not, YouTubers prioritize YouTube over Twitch. So, somebody out there will be showing it. But yeah, more on the YouTube side of things, I can't show the match. Sorry. So yeah, right then, second half. Sunderland, Newcastle about to get underway. We hope for a more exciting derby day in the second half. Pundits just talking about Brian Brobby potentially being on the edge of getting sent off for a second yellow card. And then Jamie Carragher's going to jump in on Micah Richards' deludedness and rightly jump in. It's the correct call by Jamie Carragher to jump in here, because Peter Banks is managing the game. Micah Richards says, oh, well, this clip's a definite yellow. Yeah, but also you've got to consider that that player's already on a booking. Is it worth sending him off for? Anyways, we need more excitement in this Tyne Weir derby. Well, there is now a delay to the second half kickoff because Gary Neville and Peter Drury are not to be seen, according to David Jones. Where are the commentators? There they are. A 30-second delay now because of the commentators being late back to their seats. It's rare that we actually get to hear about things like that, but obviously it won't add any added time because of obviously the match not being started. But 30-second delay to the restart. Traore cross. Oh, Went right across with that. It's Bertrand Traore, actually, from a Wolves player, I believe. Or Villa. 2-0 Forest. What a start to the second half by Nottingham Forest. Nottingham Forest lead Spurs 2-0. And it's Callum Hudson-Odoi at the double. Oh, Sunderland, hang on a minute. We'll save Forest's goal for in a little bit because Sunderland have liftoff. And it's an own goal, I think, by Nick Voltamara. But the Tyne and Wear derby's alive 1 minute into the second half. Meanwhile, Forest do make it 2-0 against Tottenham. Callum Hudson-Odoi with that goal, but Nick Voltamara scored an own goal here, and it's embarrassing. Wow. Great header. Wrong net. Great header, wrong net. Nick Voltamara. Oh, I love that reaction by Enzo Lefebvre. Passion. That's what this derby's needed. That is exactly what this derby needed. A goal. Love that from Enzo Lefebvre. Welcome aboard, Mr. Alshmari. What a balmy own goal by Voltamara. Won't have been in the script for Eddie Howe, this, at all. But it isn't in the script. I mean, life is not off a script. 2-2 Villa. A goal-filled game at the London Stadium. Villa equalise for the second time. And it's 2-2. And it's Morgan Rogers this time who gets the equalising of a Villa. So Villa 2, West Ham 2 at the London Stadium. What a brilliant header, mate. It was it's a world-class header. Just into the wrong net. Exactly, though, Fraser, what this derby needed, because that first start was really poor. Siddiqui will share fumbled it. Siddiqui rolling up the crowd. Love it. There's a lot more passion about the game second half, Phrase. First half, there was nothing about the game. Second half, you can see the players have come out. They've clearly had a shout out from Reggie Labrie. They're rolling up the crowd, scoring an early goal. Feels much more like a derby now. Ball across. It was going to go towards Ballard, that. Haven't really been able to get out at all, Newcastle. Playing a very back foot formation. The possession stats tell you all you need to know about that. I mean, Newcastle have been on the back foot of possession the whole game. Brobby got up to win it well. Granit Xhaka. I would love if Granit scored today, you know. I think it would be... I mean, he's added a lot of trademarks to Arsenal. And North London derbies. Well, for Arsenal fans, Taki, let's see Granit add his trademark to this derby. I have to say that even though he's not an Arsenal player, I am beyond grateful that Granit's come back to the Premier League. I personally thought that he would finish his career in Germany. But I'm so glad that he agreed to come back to England and agreed to come to Sunderland. He was in his last season for us. He was amazing. He had his best season for Arsenal in his last season, which is why it hurt so much when he went, because he had his best season in our colours in his last season. Xhaka out of play, throw in. To Newcastle. Livramento, by the way. Look at his face. Out of pub in 53 minutes. Come on, man. I don't think Eddie Howe has shouted at his players. One team has clearly had a shout. I mean, you can tell. You can tell by the way that the football's being played second half that Reggie Labrie has been a bit harsh on his players at half-time in the dressing room. The attitude change between the two teams is clearly visible. Sunderland have come out with a lot more authority. Newcastle just don't look like they want to play. What's the word that Gary Neville uses? Lackadaisical. You can't be lackadaisical on Derby Day. Oh, that's a penalty. Well, Ballard went over. I mean, it was a tangle. I'm not... let's have a look. Arms on his neck, though. Back of the neck. I mean, he does get forced down by his neck, but the contact looks light. Yeah, nothing given. Any goals to tell you about in the Premier League? Not yet. Still, Forest 2-0, West Ham 2-2, 1-0 City. Tonali pulled back. That's a foul. Free kick, Newcastle. Yeah, he's complaining, the Sunderland player, but there's no wrongdoing there by the referee. Correct call. It's a pull on the shirt. It's a free kick to Newcastle all day. And what it is the Sunderland player. I don't know his name, but he just gets a little bit behind, and he gets frustrated, so he pulls his player back. It's all day a foul. Thiago to Alanga. And Alanga's ball was not bad at all. I tell you, that was not a bad ball. Well, after Derby Day, Brentford against Leeds is what we've got for you on Realltom Football. 4:30 is the kickoff time, 4:15. You can join us for the affair between those two. We can expect goals. We can expect probably a Brentford win. And kickoff is at 4:30 for Brentford, who take on Leeds United. I expect goals. That's all I'm going to say. I expect goals in that game. Xhaka's free kick didn't really have an impact. Newcastle was solid defensively there. Gordon, he's been brought as the yellow card. Reynildo, yellow card. Fourth booking of the season for Reynildo. One shy of a suspension. Anthony Gordon is coming off. Harvey Barnes, he's been in top form recently. Harvey Barnes, I expect him, out of anybody who's going to come on for the Newcastle, to add an impact. Are we going to see Johan Visser, by the way? He's still made his debut yet, has he, Visser? No, still no Visser. Roofs denied Voltamada his second goal of the game by comfortably taking the ball away from him. Could have had a brace there, Voltamada. Could have had a brace. Robin Roofs to play long. Left by Brobby. Our mark, quickly break. Don't go anywhere. Back in 2 ticks. Sunderland 1, Newcastle 0, the current score. Back in about 30 seconds. Right back, folks. Right back. 62nd minute now we're in. And we are just a 1 goal in the game. No goal alerts to tell you about in the Premier League as of yet. 12 minutes was the last goal we had when Villa equalised to make it 2-2 against West Ham. And final whistle went at Sevilla 4, Real Oviedo 0. Big victory for Sevilla. And last goal was scored by Chidera Azuka. So what a win for Sevilla. Sevilla 4, Real Oviedo 0 in La Liga. Dortmund are ahead against Freiburg at half-time. Goal scored on 31 minutes by Rami Benzbani. Lyon are leading Le Havre by 1-0 as well. 61 minutes in. A goal was scored on 52. Pavel Sulk with that goal. Scottish Premiership, Kilmarnock are ahead. Tyrese John Jules with the opener there. 23 minutes in. 1-0 Kilmarnock. And of course, postponement for Falkirk against Celtic. Quick check on the WSL as well, because there is one more game to go in the WSL. Chelsea, Leicester and Manchester City all getting victories earlier in the day. West Ham held Liverpool to a draw. Tottenham lead Man United 2-0 away at half-time in the WSL. Evelina Summerman and Bethany England on the score sheet for Spurs. So Women's Super League, Man United 0, Spurs 2. No changes to the scores in Serie A. And we are back. Sadiki off balance a little bit. You want more. I do want a little bit more, man. I want a little bit more. Tiao all slipped through. Could have been something special. Has to be said. Could have been. Well, if you would like to get your diaries out, I will let you know that your final watch along before Christmas will be Monday, the 22nd of December for Fulham against Nottingham Forest, because of course I will be at Arsenal's quarter-final in the Carabao Cup against Crystal Palace on the 23rd. So if you want to join me for one last watch along before Christmas, Monday the 22nd is the date for your diary. To enjoy one more Realltom football watch along before Christmas. Obviously, there will be no watch along on Christmas Eve, no watch along on Christmas Day. Boxing Day, we will do Man United Newcastle. No watch along on the 27th because I'm at Arsenal Brighton. Oh, comfortable claim. Patterson. But a great Sunday, actually. Sunday 28th is going to be good. We've got Palace against Spurs on the roster for that one. That should be interesting. The big game is Man United Newcastle, though. Let's not even deny it. West Ham lead for a third time now against Aston Villa. Twice they've been pegged back, but 3 times they take the lead. It's 3-2. It's West Ham on fire, really. So West Ham 3-2 up against Villa. Who was the scorer of that third West Ham United goal? Much to my displeasing, by the way. It's been disallowed. It remains 2-2. Goal is not going to stand. Phil Foden, though, making it 2-0 to Palace. 2-0 to City, away to Palace. Bummer. I'm not surprised. I mean, if Palace can lose to Man United at home, why can't they lose to City at home? Disappointing, but hey, do you know what? It just gives me that confidence that we're going to slap them to pieces in the carrot. I can't wait. Tuesday, 23rd of December, Palace. You will come to the Emirates. I'll be there for all 3 meetings for Arsenal Palace this year. Obviously, of course, I will attend our Selhurst Park trip on the final day. Oh. "21 minutes to go. 1-0 Sunderland. Are Newcastle going to find a way on Derby Day?" Crosses high. Very comfortable claim for Robin Roofs. He's a good keeper, Robin Roofs. He's a good keeper. Not going to lie. He's not bad. Changes for Sunderland. And Wilson Isidore is one that's getting ready. Bertrand Traore stays up. And also the day is done, I think, as well, for Brian Brobby. Yep. So Brobby and Traore go off. And it is Wilson Isidore. And Trey Hume. Wilson, yeah. And Trey Hume are going to the pitch. So Wilson Isidore and Trey Hume to replace Bertrand Traore and Brian Brobby. Xhaka. Willock. Oh. They're just showing us the goal. Slick from Phil Foden. Slick. Bottom corner. Owenzo Lafay, huge chance. Oh, ball driven across. Could have been more. Yeah, so Palace couldn't stop City. And the gap is going to remain 2 between Arsenal and City. It's a shame, but can I say I'm surprised? No. I'm not surprised with City. Well, Johan Visser is being prepared by Newcastle. And I think this will be his debut as well. Long-awaited debut. Oh, what a ball. Can he take it down? Isidore, he took it. I tell you what, that is fair play towards an Isidore there. Because he's off balance. He's not set. Does really well to adjust his body, take it down. Good effort. And most importantly, works Ramsdale. It's good play. He's not ready. But he does enough to take it down, get it under control. And again, he works Ramsdale, he forces the corner. Is it still 2-0 or is it more? Ball into the box by Granit Xhaka. What a corner, by the way. Yeah, well, it's not good. It's not good news for us because obviously Palace have gone 2-0 down against City. I think City will win that now. Probably will stay 2-0. If you haven't already, do make sure you are smashing a like on the stream. Hit that subscribe button if you are new. And share the channel around with your friends. Let us know who you think is going to win via the poll as well. What, this game? Sunderland. Why wouldn't you? I mean, Sunderland are back in the Prem. Why would you not want them to win games? I have to say it. All bar when it's against your own team. Why would you not want Sunderland to win games? Big up, big up. We'll see you in a bit, Kumar. Brentford against Leeds, and of course tomorrow as well, Manchester United against AFC Bournemouth. 3-0 Forest, game over. What a win. Forest, look, I keep saying that Forest have turning points, but they've really got to start to get that consistency up. But I tell you what, this is looking good for them. 3-0. Sangare with the goal. That's much better. That's much better, but that consistency has got to be a part of the thing now. Brilliant win for Forest. Big up, people. I think that's 2 straight wins, actually, for Forest now. It's important. It's very important. If he can just get that consistency and that balance, Sean Dyche, then he'll have a perfect Forest team. That's what I'm saying, Dragon. Like, now all that's left, because this is. Do we think that Sean Dyche is one of those guys who can't get the victories against small teams, but can absolutely get Nottingham Forest the big victories? And the reason why I'm saying this is because the games they've lost under Sean Dyche have been against lower caliber opposition, whereas they've gone to Anfield and won 3-0. Today, they're beating Spurs 3-0. They won a big game in Europe in midweek. So how can Sean Dyche get that balance? But the concern is, though, you are losing the games against a smaller opposition. I mean, Brighton, you lost 2-0. Like that's a bad result. Like you, that's what I'm talking about. Like like what Sean Dyche has brought to Nottingham Forest is big wins against big clubs and in big matches. But in the matches that are smaller, they're not quite doing it. I wouldn't consider Brighton as a top five, as a big opposition, and it's a concern that. I mean, the concern for me was the fact that it was off the back of Forest winning 3-0 at Anfield, but they lost 2-0 to Brighton. That's got to be paved out. Like, that's got to go. That they can't be. They've got to get that consistency and that balance, because I mean, look, it's great news for Forest if they can get that, if they've got consistency of winning big games. But if you're winning all the big games and you're losing all the small games, it's still not the right balance. You want the scale to balance nicely. Currently, that's where I see Sean Dyche's Forest in terms of balance. Instead, they need to be about here. But right now, big games here, small games there under Sean Dyche. 3-2 Villa, Morgan Rogers. Cheers for the update, Dragon. And SoberScore confirmed it. Hang on, that's not right. There we go. So 3-2 Villa. Again, though, I mean, it's fantastic that, like, if you go and beat City at the Etihad, that'll be great. But then the downside of that would be is if you go to City and win at the Etihad, but then you lose to Burnley or something at home. And that's very much what Forest did do after beating Liverpool 3-0. They won a big game, then lost against, in my opinion, a rather small opposition in Brighton. And you beat them 7-0 last year. To go from winning 7-0 against one team, then losing 2-0 is a concern. The concern for me there, you beat them 7-0 last year, and then you lost 2-0 to them this year. Brighton should be shit scared of coming to you. Well, bless. It's been a cracking game in East London. Showing us the goal. What a goal by Rogers. It's been a great game. 3-2. But game of the season remains to be Fulham 4, Man City 5. Oh my days. One thing is for sure, that Anfield would be a very sorry place if Ian Rush was to pass away. How old is he though? How old's Ian Rush right now? Because let's not forget, with age comes, unfortunately, death and weakened immune systems. If it's a serious illness and he's 80 plus. Okay. So, yeah. Okay. Yeah, then it would hurt. Nobody should be dying at 64. Realistically, every human on Earth should make it to 90 at least. Yeah, it's been horrible, hasn't it? I haven't had it. I know. They are going to go down, hopefully. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. Well, hopefully you'll be okay. Oh, yeah. But we're just going to see. Honestly, next, like I say, if we get what we want, which is Borough and Coventry, and West Ham and Wolves down, then we don't need to look at the Championship next year. And I know I say it's so important for Premier League fans to look at the Championship, but like I keep saying to you all, Borough and Coventry up, West Ham, Wolves down, perfect Premier League. No question. It'll be a painful year for everybody involved with Liverpool. Really, not just your household. Ian Rush, a Liverpool legend. Jota, a legend of Wolves and Liverpool. It's not easy to lose people. Well, look, I mean, Ian Rush, at 64, I expect him to be able to fight it off, to be fair. I mean, I'm not being judgmental here, and I'm not trying to make assumptions without knowing the facts, but my presumption is that a 64-year-old should be able to fight off the flu. So I think he'll be okay. City have got a penalty. Murphy's ball in there. Yeah, bollocks. Sorry, but bollocks. I mean, I would not be happy if... I would not be happy to die at 70. I want to be passing like 90s, really. I mean, I probably won't say the same thing later in my life, but Mm. I mean, Liam Payne, of course, committing suicide as well. The singer jumped off a balcony at his hotel. 3-0 City, game over. Haaland. We best be on our best behaviour against Everton next week. Oh, man. It's a bruise. 3-0 City. Lethal. It's a big result, though, for City. Not easy to go and play Palace, but that's a statement. Well, of course it was. It was a suicide. He made the decision to jump off that balcony. There's no falling about it. I'm not buying he fell. No. That is not an accident. It was a suicide, plain black and white. You don't just fall off a balcony. There has to be some kind of effort from you to fall. It's still suicide. There's no way that somebody can actually consider that professionally a natural death or a fall. He might have been drugged up, but by no means was it an accident. Well, then there needs to be changing legislation. There needs to be changing legislation then. Because drugs, okay, can take away functionality of your brain, but you still would know. There's just no way that you could jump off a balcony without, I don't believe that drugs have told him to jump off that balcony. Yeah, well, I would call for changing legislation. I do not believe that drugs could make somebody that out of it that they would think, okay, this wall is safe to climb. If I jump, I'm going to be fine. So, under my book, drugs or not, it's suicide. Oh, cutback is brilliant. 4 minutes out of time, by the way. I saw the clip. Didn't look like he was pushed. And the clip, well, not the clip, the photo of the balcony. Because there wasn't a clip, I don't think. But that balcony wall was high enough that it was high. It was not a low balcony. Well, it's kind of a finished negotiation, really. I guess you could say. I mean, there's not a lot that people can do. Everybody can have their opinions, but I'm saying suicide. And even so, he probably would have been able to stop himself falling if he'd been pushed. The balcony looked high enough for me, for him to be able to control. I mean, it would have had to have been lifted. I mean, if it was a push off a cliff, I'd say, well, yeah. I mean, it's easy to, but I don't know. Bit of boiling up here, by the way. It is going off. Huge win for Forest. It's a great win. Well, it's another good moment under Sean Dyche. After it's brilliant to see Forest at their best. Well, just a reminder that next up on Realltom Football will be Brentford against Leeds United. Kick-off 4:30. All build up at 4:15, and that will be next right after we're done here on Derby Day in Tyneside. Yellow cards being brandished by Peter Banks. Still waiting for the restart. Sorting out done. And now we await to see how much added time there's going to be remaining. Xhaka's going off the pitch because he's cut his face under his eye. I think, yeah, just there, top of his eyelid. He'll be a reap. That'll heal by next weekend. Well, no idea how much time's left, but we play on. Fabian Schär. Well, Xhaka's got to stay for 30 seconds. He wants to get back on. It's out for a goal kick, I think. Yeah. there was a huge scrap up. Well, the last time these two met was in the FA Cup a couple of years ago. They lost. But in a minute. Won't be long now. Robbie moves, taking his time. We play on, and it's all eyes on Peter Banks. What a tackle by Trey Hume. And you would feel as though the whistle's going to come. And he's blown it, Peter Banks. And Sunderland wipe away the pain of the FA Cup 2 years ago. On their return to the Premier League, they make sure that Tyneside is the bigger place in the northeast. Wearside, rather. Wearside against Tyneside, and Wearside is the winner. The Black Cats have beaten Newcastle, who I don't think did at their best, but Derby Day, it is Wearside that is the side of the northeast, which are the winners as things stand. We'll pass it over to the reverse as in Jesus Park, but Sunderland with a huge Derby Day victory. Final score, Sunderland 1, Newcastle 0. Next up on the roster for 15 for the 4:30 kickoff, it is Brentford against Leeds United to finish off. Next up on Realltom Football.